Chantal and Curtis are nominated for eviction, but JoJo holds the golden power veto and Brazil holds the sapphire power veto. Will they use it? Find out now on Big Brother Cheesecake 5 All-Stars.
There ain't no thing we can't get through.
Hello, I'm Andrew Shevsik Moonves. Welcome to Big Brother Cheesecake 5 All-Stars. It's day 84 inside the Big Brother Cheesecake house, and this week, Nicole is the head of household. She nominated Chantal and Curtis for eviction, but JoJo won the Golden Power Veto in the Big Brother Monopoly Golden Power Veto competition. Will he use it to save Chantal or Curtis from the chopping block? And will Brazil reverse that decision with her Sapphire Power Veto, as this is the last week that she can use it? We'll find out shortly. But first, Nick and Lindsay on Saturday had an episode of Reality Realness with 3 S's. It was another great episode. I thought, I don't know what, Nick, if you did anything to your face, whether you, I don't know, use skin cream or moisturizer or just the lighting was different or makeup or whatever, but I thought you looked better than usual. No, I'm not hitting you. I'm just hitting on you. I'm just telling you what I thought. Okay, so... let's see. So Lindsay said, this was good. She prefaced it with, I hope you don't get insulted, Andrew, because you know I love you, but, and I thought it was going to be bad. But no, she said, Andrew is an old man mixed with a small child. So true. And you're going to find that very shortly as to my next topic, as to what's coming in this episode. That could not be more true. In many ways, I'm set in my ways. I know what I want. I don't like change. I'm very straightforward to the point. If you know me well. Like Tiffany knows every last detail about me. Especially when it comes to food, Tiffany knows every little detail better than my mother does. By small child, I think what she means by that is I'm silly. I hope that's what she means. If she means that I'm, what's the word for only childs? They have to get their way, but there's a word for that. The only child syndrome. I'm a lot better than I used to be. I used to always have to get my way, but Lindsay will admit in the last 10 years or so, I've come a long way with, sharing. What's the word for an only child? There's a word. Yeah. Marcin, comment on what the word is when somebody has to get their way. Now I'm looking it up because now I'm annoyed that I can't remember. Only child. There's no siblings. Blah, 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 blah. Spoiled is the one. There we go. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. But I think she meant that I'm just silly and goofy. That's and I like to laugh at everything. So, bank heist. So, the skill testing question, Nick thought that I added that in because of everybody getting annoyed about luck-based competitions, which you've played Big Brother Cheesecake before, so you know there's going to be some luck-based comps. And you know that my philosophy has always been, if you're relying on winning competitions, you're not playing a good game. Yes, I like to see people win, but if you must win, that's not good. So, for instance, I don't think Kevin Martin is a great winner of Big Brother Canada like everybody else does, because from about the time Bruno was evicted to the end, about 5 weeks, he had to win HOH or veto every single week or he was gone. And if you find yourself in that position, you're not playing a good social or strategic game. So, where was I going with that? So, yeah, I don't really see why competitions are that important, and that's why there's the luck-based elements, and because a lot of them are fun. We had some fun competitions this season. But Bank Heist, the skill testing question was predetermined, but I'll admit I made them harder because everybody was like, skill, skill, skill. So, that's what you get. Nick said, I can't see anyone left in the cast not talking to us on Reality Realness after. And I'm thinking, Brazil? She already declined you once. She's gonna do it again. But anyway, yeah. So before we get to the Golden Power Veto ceremony, Lindsay yesterday, we were supposed to go for a walk. So I always go to the Tim Hortons now at Bloor and Lansdowne because they have the s'mores donuts. There's 3 left that I go to, and I'm going to get to that in a second. But I go to Bloor and Lansdowne for the s'mores donuts, but it's just too far to walk to Bloor and Lansdowne. So I usually take my car to like Old Mill, walk along Bloor, get the donuts and coffee, and then take the subway back. She didn't want to do that because of COVID. She didn't want to get on a subway. I get it. So I told her I'm going to do that walk, get my donuts and my eggs, whatever, and then we'll go for a walk after. She said, yeah, she was babysitting her nephew, Liam, which, by the way, am I allowed to? Ooh, I think it's out in the open now. My mother knows. Lindsay is expecting her second niece or nephew. I don't know why I worded it like that. And the first boy was Liam. So I'm hoping it's either a girl or if it's a boy, if they stick with the One Direction theme, where the next one would have to be named Louis, Zane, what are the other ones' names? Louis, Zane, what the hell are the other ones' names? Niall or Harry. Oh. But anyway, I mean, they're not my first choices, but if you're going to name your firstborn after a One Direction member, you got to keep going. You can't just change it. But anywho, where was I going with this? Oh, so she was babysitting Liam. So I said, we'll go for a walk later. Well, that walk never happened because I went on a 2-hour treasure hunt around Bloor West Village, going at 6 Tim Hortonses before I could finally find the eggs that I liked, because Tim Hortons recently changed them to these new shit, fresh cracked crap eggs that are not fresh, and everybody hates them. There's petitions going around online to get rid of them. So, I mean, here's the photos of the eggs that I like. And I know, they're not real eggs. They're processed crap. But I like them. You sue me, okay? That's what I want. That's what Tim Hortons has had for years. They've already taken away Canadian maple donuts, except for the Renforth Arongate location. They've taken away English toffee cappuccino. They've taken away omelet bites recently. They've taken away chili in a bread bowl, chicken stew in a bread bowl. All my favorites are gone. It is so fucking... Blueberry fritter, gone. Even double chocolate dip is getting hard to find. So I decided to go on a Twitter tirade, and here are some of my tweets that I sent to Tim Hortons because I was in a bad mood. And then this sanctimonious congenial bitch, Brenda, says, I think it should be a law that every vanilla ice donut has sprinkles on it. And I said to Brenda, why are we friends again? Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I was really, really annoyed. So, but at least I got the eggs that I want. So now, there's only 3 Tim Hortons locations left I will step into. Renforth and Arongate for Canadian Maple Donuts, Bloor and Lansdowne for S'mores Donuts, and Jane and Dundas for the old egg patties. So, yeah, so I'm very annoyed. But anywho, I'm woke for yolk. Too far? Sorry. Okay, so now let's get to the Golden Power of Veto ceremony. Hello, I am Joe 3PO, the underwater C-3PO that has been yoked into outer space. I have won the Golden Power of Veto. Seems to be a trend. And I have the ability to remove Chantal or Curtis from the chopping block. Chantal, why should I use the Golden Power of Veto to save you? How y'all doing? I'm Sharon, I'm still here. I look the same as I did on day 7, 1970. And I'm gonna keep powering through. And you can't get me down. And yeah. And I'm really, really looking forward to staying another week and fighting with y'all. Okay, thank you, Chantal. And Curtis, why should I use the Golden Power of Veto to save you?
there, I'm Curtis from South Africa. I also think vanilla dip donuts should have sprinkles on them. But, you won the Golden Power Veto fair and square, and I really think you should do whatever you think is right. So thank you very much for your consideration, and good to have you with us, and have a fantastic day. Thank you, Curtis and Chantal, for that. After the Monopoly Massacre, just before whatever twist is about to be unleashed in moments, let's add a successful Sapphire play to the week. When I say I'm going to do something, I do it. I will be using the power of veto on Chantal. Good luck to both nominees. Excuse me. Oh, look. It looks like Brazil wants to say something. What do you want to say, Brazil? I'm Brazil. I just have to say that I've decided, since this is the last chance I can use that Sapphire Power Veto, that I'm going to use it and reverse JoJo's Golden Power Veto use, which means the nominations will stay the same. Take that, Joe 3PO. Error. Cannot compute. This Golden Power of Veto ceremony is adjourned. Thanks! Oh, Jesus Christ. Every time. Except yesterday. That sound means it is time to finally reveal the final twist of the season. So, get your seatbelts on because this is one you've never heard before. Is everybody ready? Okay. One of the things I've always hated about Big Brother Canada, US, even Cheesecake, Byron, shout out, Backyard Big Brother, shout out, and any other version of Big Brother that I know is that rewind. You were all so worried that the twist was going to affect this week. Like, are both nominees going to be evicted? Is Nicole's HOH going to be screwed up? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking, do you not remember Nick on Reality Realness 2 weeks ago saying that I'm going to give you a 1 week warning? And I, on day one, said you will get a 1 week warning so that nobody feels like they got sort of twist fucked. So this twist is only taking effect a week from now. So relax. One thing that I hate about every version of Big Brother is that in the week of the Final Four, the head of household doesn't really have any power. The head of household just has immunity, and it's the Golden Power Veto winner who actually gets the power to choose who to evict. I've never, ever liked that. And I especially hated it when my first HOH ever in Backyard Big Brother was in the week of the Final Four, and I had no power, and I could not get my way, which was to get Jackie out, and she ended up staying and winning the season. So this season, that's going to change, because the head of household at Final Four is going to get some more power. Which is why, Nicole, I said winning HOH this week is a benefit to you because you cannot play next week, and if you stay in the make it to Final Four, you will be able to play for that HOH. Whoever wins HOH coming up for Final 5 will be at a disadvantage because they will not be able to play in the Final 4 HOH. So here's how it's going to work. The Final 4 HOH has more power, and sorry, I'm bad at this. I went on a 2-hour scavenger hunt for eggs. Leave me alone. I've also hated that the Final Four nomination ceremony is a complete waste of time. It makes absolutely no difference who the Final Four head of household puts on the block. And in Big Brother 22, when that cunt face dumb fuck Christmas started crying because she was put on the block at Final Four, she was crying. I thought, you're an all-star, supposedly. Do you not realize that it makes absolutely no difference who Enzo puts on the block? It makes no fucking difference.
The Final Four veto is not for a golden veto. It is for a silver veto. If you are a super fan, you remember from Big Brother US Season 3, the original veto was a silver veto. It was only used once by Jerry to take Marcellus off the block, Margellus. And then in the final 5 in Season 3, it was turned into a golden veto, which Margellus then won and not used, and he was evicted. What makes the silver veto not as powerful as the golden veto is if you are a nominee, you cannot use the silver veto on yourself. You can either not use it or use it to save the other nominee. So what this means is the Final Four head of household, his or her nominations, their nominations, I apologize, matter because the two people that Final Four head of household nominates cannot save themselves with the silver veto. So when I went back, because I was really going like, I don't know if I want to change the mechanics of the game this much. I went back to the first 4 seasons and I thought about it. And it wouldn't have made a difference in any of the first 4 seasons. Season 1, Tiffany was the head of household. She puts up Lisa and Chad. And Jeffrey, the non-nominee, wins the veto. And obviously, in that case, doesn't use it. And Jeffrey votes out Lisa. Season 2, the head of household was Rob. He puts up Ashley and Chanel. Chanel wins the golden veto. So now, if it was a silver veto, what Chanel would have done, she couldn't save herself. She would have saved Ashley, and Ashley would have voted Jimbo out. In Season 3, Alvin was the head of household. A shout out. He did nominate Jojo and Chantel. Jojo won the golden veto. Had it been silver, he would have saved Chantel, and Chantel would have been the one to evict Lynn. Last season, Season 4, Brazil was the head of household in the Final Four, or was it Lindsay? Shit, I forgot. It was... Or was it Nick? Oh, wow. What was the competition? It was Jeopardy. Nick won it, yeah, because Nick won Jeopardy. So Nick nominated Lindsay and Marcin, and Brazil won the golden veto. Because she's the non-nominee, silver veto would have been the same thing, and she evicted Marcin. So if the head of household or the non-nominee wins the silver veto, it's the same situation. But if one of the 2 nominees wins the silver veto, they cannot save themselves, but they still have the power to save the other nominee if they wish. And this is what makes it interesting. That person would have to decide, do I attempt to make a deal with the other nominee to use a silver veto on them, and they vote the other person off, or do I attempt to make a deal with the person who's not nominated to not use the veto and them save me? And it, of course, creates an element of trust and logic and gameplay that's never been seen before. But yeah, so Jeffrey, Chanel, Chantel, and Brazil all would have survived that week with a silver veto and all would have still won the game. But who's to say that that's always going to be the case? So now you are well aware, if you want to win HOH tomorrow, which, by the way, you need to decide 9:30 p.m., midnight, or non-live throughout the day tomorrow. I forgot. You need to vote on that. If you want to win Final 5 HOH, that's fine, but you cannot play in the Final 4 HOH, and you cannot save yourself with the silver veto. So it means you have to rely on your social game at that point to get to Final 3. The only way to win your way to Final 3, is to win Final 4 HOH. So the Final 4 HOH, to be clear, their nomination will matter because the 2 people that they're nominating, you're essentially saying to them, I'm not letting you win your way to Final 3. You can win and potentially sway your way in, but I'm not letting you win that veto and make it to Final 3. The one person who the HOH does not nominate, that person can win their way to Final 3 by winning the silver veto and just not using it, and then they're still in the same position of casting the vote. So that's the twist. The person who was closest to figuring this out was probably JoJo by saying final 5 HOH gets to cast the vote. And I did flirt with the idea of, there were 2 other options I had. One was the final 4 HOH is the one to cast the vote. But then I feel like that's too much power for the final 4 HOH, that they get safety and they cast the vote. The other option was to have the final 4 week be backwards, where the Golden Power Veto competition comes first, and then the Head of Household competition. But, I don't know, for some reason that just didn't gel with me. I like this element because if you are a nominee and you win the Silver Veto, you're not guaranteed final 3, but you can potentially talk your way into it by making a deal, and if they stay true to their word, with either the other nominee or the other person, to get yourself to final 3. If you don't understand this, don't message me, because I can't explain it any better for you. Message Krista, she'll explain. Okay, with that said, who will be evicted from the Big Brother Cheesecake 5 house, finishing in 5th place? Chantel or Curtis? Watch tomorrow as they plead their case to stay in the game, and we will check in with Joanne, Kat, Chad, Aton, and Rhonda, where Chad has finally come alive and has spewed some classic Chad for us all. It was divine. And Wednesday is the next live eviction and Head of Household competition, where another house guest will be evicted from the Big Brother Cheesecake 5 house, lose their shot at the $500 Cheesecake Factory gift card, and become the 6th member of the jury, finishing in 5th place. And we will learn the identities of the final 4. I'm Andrew Chefs of Moonbest. Take care, and remember, when baking a cake for your partner, the first ingredient is love.